Hello, hello. Sorry, we're having some sound issues today. Hello and welcome to Number Frames. My name is Vanessa Favila and my moderator today is Takesha Jones. We are both I3s and kindergarten teachers. I'm at Armstrong Elementary. My classroom has 3 Chromebooks for student use and 5 iPads for student use. Takesha is at Keeley, and they also have an iPad to use in the classroom and 3 Chromebooks. Today we're going to be learning about number frames. Number frames is an app that uses different number frames as well as counters and other objects. And I'm going to show you how to have your students add that onto their seesaw to share what they've learned. So our objective today is we will learn how to use the app Number Frames to teach numbers. You can also use it for addition and subtraction or a multitude of other things for math. We will also learn how students can share what they know on Seesaw. And today I hope that you will learn how to use the app Number Frames to teach many different math concepts. So what is Number Frames? Number Frames is an app that can be used to teach basic numbers all the way up to 100. This app can be used as a digital manipulative for students to work out their problems. The ISTE standard that Number Frames and Seesaw covers are Empowered Learner and Knowledge Constructor. So students will be using the app to create and to show their connections and how they solve problems. So let's go to the app Number Frames. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you and show you my app. Hold on just a moment while I get this. Okay, sorry about that. We had a little bit of technical difficulty getting it to share my screen, but we should have it now. Oh, sorry, it's not giving me my screen. Here we go. All right, so this is looking at my iPad screen here. So I'm going to go to, first of all, the Number Frame app, which is this red and blue dots. From here, you have lots of choices. So the number frames themselves are up in the corner. When you tap on that, you get your choice of 5, 10, 20, or 100, or you can make a frame by dragging down here in this bottom box. So for the purpose of today, I'm just going to show you basic 10 frames. That's what I use mainly in kindergarten. We start with 5 and move to 10. So the way you do this is you just click on the 10 frame. It will put it out there for you. You can also rotate it at the bottom down here. You can rotate it, or if you want to duplicate it, if you want multiple 10 frames, instead of tapping it multiple times, you can just click here and it will add it also. So you use the counters over here on this side. There is this little grayed out box that has the butterfly and star in it also, so you can change your object if you want. I don't use that a lot in my class just because we typically use counters. So all you do is tap on the counter and drag it to your 10 frame. If you want to delete, there's a trash can that will delete the last thing that you did or whatever is highlighted with the blue circle. You can do 5 and it will autofill the 5 for you. You can also do the 10 and it will autofill 10 for you as well. So you can use the counters that are there. If you tap on where the butterfly and the star, you see you have different options there. You have different color options there. I like to change the bottom ones instead of blue to yellow because we typically use the red and yellow counters in my classroom. And then when you're done changing it, just tap done in the top corner and you're ready to continue. When you have your students working, if they just want to delete the last thing that they did, they use a trash can. If they want to completely delete and start over, it's the circle arrows in the corner that will delete everything. So like I said, you can use this for basic, just building numbers on 10 frames. You can duplicate the 10 frames, like I said, with the little ones in the bottom. They can show numbers up to 20. They can use it for addition and subtraction. They can use it for making numbers all the way up to 100. So I'm going to delete everything and show you some of the other options. So again, 20s, 10s. So you could also use this for base 10 blocks. So you could do 100, and then you could do the, oh, wrong one. Sorry about that. And you could do the 20s, and that could be their 10s, and you just flip it so they can show their numbers that way as well. So I'm going to show you from here, once the students have done whatever it is that you wanted them to show you, whether it was numbers or addition or subtraction. Once they have their activity on there, then they can just take a screenshot and share it through Seesaw. Some of the other options that you have on here, the pencil on the bottom, so you can change the color and you can write. So if you wanted your student to write a number that they're making, they could write it and then show the number that they made. They can also use where the plus, minus, multiplication, and division sign, they can type in the number. So if they wanted to type in the number that they made and done, again, they can change the color of it. They can do all different equations showing it. Lots of options here. So if you're ready to share, you will click on your home key and the top key of the iPad. It will take a screenshot and it will go down into the bottom corner. If you just let it sit there for a second, it will go away and then it's in your camera roll. So from here, I have students click on the home button to close out number frames, and then they go to Seesaw. I'm going to take you to, this is just a made-up class that I made. So here are some examples of the student work that they added. So I'm going to go to my youngest example. So this would be one example where the student made 17, and they actually recorded themselves with telling how they made their number. So I'll let you listen to this. The sound might not be working on my iPad, but basically the student just says how they made the number. So they made the number 17 using a 10 frame with 10 and then 7 on the bottom. So that's one example. Another example that I had a student do was doing an addition. So here they had 2 10 frames, 10 in one, 7 in the other. You see how they used the 2 different color counters to make the different numbers and made the number 17. And then another example where the student used the hundreds and the 10 and the tens from the base 10 blocks to make 118. So let me walk you through how your student would do all of those steps for seesaw. So I'm going to start back again in number frames. The student will make the number that they want to share. Again, I'm going to change those to yellow because that's what we use in my classroom. And they will say, I made the number 12. They will take a screenshot by pushing the top button and the home button. Then they will close out of number frames and go to the seesaw. From there, they will click on the plus sign. They want to post to their journal. Their picture is already in the camera roll. And their picture should be the very last one that was on the camera roll. Check. And then this is where it gives them the option to, they can draw some more, they can label, or they can record themselves. So I have my students record themselves by pushing the microphone. It counts them down. I made the number 12 by using 10 red counters and 2 yellow counters. Once they've recorded themselves, they'll push the microphone, the pause button, and then check mark. Down here at the bottom, this black strip tells them that's their recording. They can listen to it and check to see if they said what they wanted to say, if they made a mistake, or maybe the room was too noisy. They can always click the X, which will delete the recording, and they can record again. And then they will just do the check mark if everything sounded good. They will click on their name and the check mark again. And then their item is uploaded to their seesaw page. So that is number frames and seesaw. So as you can see, number frames can be used for a multitude of math concepts. It can be used for basic one-to-one correspondence, making numbers, addition, subtraction, and used for base 10 blocks as well. Thank you for watching today. I hope you got some great information from our webinar. And if you need to connect with us, you can follow us on Twitter.